Welcome to week 6 of our elementary LEGO Robotics program. This week, we're going to be wrapping up our Amazing Amusement Park unit by building the spinning Ferris wheel. This will be the last week that we are using exclusively icon block coding. Next week, we're going to start introducing word block coding. This week, you're going to take a finished product and change it to make it better. You're going to improve upon a solution. You're going to help some of our story characters to create the ride that they want to ride on, and you're going to be able to access all of the Spike Essential icon blocks. I want us, by the end of this lesson, to be able to pull up all the blocks in order to do lots of different things with our build. Quick question for you. If you're riding a roller coaster and it's moving slowly and doesn't have the energy to climb up steep inclines, what could you do to make improvements to fix it? I want you to think about that. How could you improve a roller coaster that's moving too slowly to climb up steep inclines? There's lots of possible solutions. Maybe you would make that first hill higher. That would give the roller coaster more potential energy so that whenever it does go down the big hill, it has lots more kinetic energy and is able to climb the next hills. Another option could be you could add some powered rails to it. Maybe you've designed roller coasters in a video game, maybe you've made them in Minecraft, maybe you've ridden a lot of roller coasters at amusement parks, but there are lots of ways to make a roller coaster speed up and go faster. Today we're going to be looking at a Ferris wheel, and we're going to be making it move in different ways. We'll speed it up, we'll slow it down, and we'll change the ride in a variety of ways to help our characters. So let's dive into our story and begin. To get to our unit today, we're going to go to spike.legoeducation.com. And as that loads, we're going to be looking for the Spike Essential side, the green side that matches up with our kit. Once it loads, I click on Spike Essential. And now I'm in our Spike app. We click on Unit Plans. We go to Amazing Amusement Park. And we've done most of these. Last week you did the snack stand. This twirling teacup one is great. I've got a video that I'll add on where you can turn this ride into a model of our solar system. But we're going to click on number 6, the spinning Ferris wheel. And go ahead and read this story along with me. The team will go on another ride together. They find the Ferris wheel. They wonder why it isn't stopping long enough to let them go on. I'm seeing a problem here. What's our problem in the story? We're going to build the Ferris wheel for the team to ride. All right, our first step is to get out our hub. And on the bottom of the hub, since we'll be connecting it to a base plate, we need to add 4 of these green pegs. And then for our Ferris wheel base, we're using the large base plate. And I like to build everything so it matches right up with the picture. I see on mine that my hub is going to go in this back left corner, if I hold it like a diamond in front of me, with the ports facing off the brick. All right, now for some scaffolding. This is going to give our Ferris wheel a little bit of height. And a red brick immediately next to it. This is pretty similar to when we built the excellent swing ride. We had to build a tower to mount the motor onto to get it up high. Just 3 of these red bricks. Then we'll add another scaffolding to the other side. I like to press firmly down on everything while it's sitting on the table. That way all the pieces snap in very well. And on top of this, we'll attach a platform piece. And then it looks like 2 smooth, flat bricks, orange bricks. Next, we're going to get our LED light. Here we go, our LED matrix, and we will need some more of those green pegs in order to mount this piece. And that will plug into port B, wrap around the side, and go up here just a little bit in front of our tower. All right, next up we need a motor. And same thing, we're going to put 4 of those pegs into the top of our motor, and I'm going to lay my motor down so that the white is facing to the left, the blue's on the bottom, and I'm going to put my 4 pegs into the top. And you might be building faster than I am. You might be building slower than I am. You're welcome to pause or to skip forward in the video. Some people like to build in silence. Some people like to build while watching somebody else. And then we'll flip this over and we'll attach it on the top so that our wire is coming off the side that the hub is off of. And we'll loop it around and plug it into port A. All right, I'm going to turn this now to face me, and it looks like we're going to build some stairs on the front using 2 of these blue flat pieces, or smooth pieces, and then a yellow brick. I'm going to skip 2 spaces and then put the 2 blue pieces, and they'll go right in front of our light, and then I'll place our yellow brick in front of that. And then to decorate it a little bit more, we'll cover it up with 2 more of those flat blue pieces. There we go. This looks just like step 14. Now we're going to put in something called an axle. And this axle is only 4 bricks long, so it should be the same size as our step. And I'm going to attach that into the motor. And next we're going to start working on our Ferris wheel. So we'll take a purple circle piece, and then we'll attach an orange circle into the middle of it, just like that. Now we'll need 4 of these green pieces, and you'll see that there's 2 bumps right next to each other. That's where these green pieces will attach to. Once all 4 green pieces are attached, we're going to cover this up and hold it together with another purple circle, just like that. On the ends of each of these, we're going to put one of these white pieces that have a Technic connector piece coming out of them. So I have 2, and I need 2 more. There we go, all 4 of those connector pieces. Right here in the middle, we'll put a green circle. This is something for that axle to grab onto that's attached to the motor. And to make everything look nice and neat, we'll put a cone in the middle of this. All right, I'm going to set this to the side, and we're going to be building 4 seats for our characters. What that means is we are going to need 4 of these red pieces that have the 2 holes in them. We're going to need 4 of these purple sloping pieces, and we're going to need 4 of these yellow bricks. And we'll put them together just like this to make 4 seats that are going to attach onto our Ferris wheel. And as long as nobody has bitten those white pieces and changed the shape of them, this seat should be able to rotate freely. So let's go ahead and build 3 more of those, and then we'll move on. All right, and I just need to grab 3 more of the purple slope pieces. There we go. And now I'm ready to put everything together. And I'm ready to attach them all to my Ferris wheel. All right, once you finish step 22, you can hold up your Ferris wheel and it's ready to attach to our axle. You just slide it on. You might have to twist it a little bit. Remember, we put this green round piece in. That's going to let it grab onto the axle. And now we can build our characters and put our characters onto the Ferris wheel. So we'll have one that uses a wheelchair. And pick any characters that you want. I'm just going to grab 4 characters right now. And you are welcome to build the ones that you want to build. Any of them will work. And congratulations, you have finished building the Ferris wheel. But now we have a challenge. Now it's time to create the program that starts the Ferris wheel. And we need to connect our hub to our computer. I always press this little yellow button in the top left corner to connect my hub. And then I go down here where it says number 2, open. Once I've opened this screen, then I press the button on my hub 1 time. I don't have to hold it down. I just have to press it 1 time and let go. The light starts to flash, and then it will show up on my computer, and I can click on it and click pair. I know I'm paired whenever this light turns solid blue. It's almost there. Perfect. Now it's solid blue. So let's give you the first little bit of code to make this Ferris wheel turn. I'll drag up my play block, and this just means when I push play, this is what program should happen. Let's drag the speed up, and we're going to put something in called a forever loop. And so this means it's going to turn forever. And I have this code written. I can click these 2 little lines to move this screen out of the way. And when I push play, my Ferris wheel starts. But here's our problem. When are our characters going to be able to get on to this Ferris wheel? This Ferris wheel just keeps moving no matter what. And we've included a loop in here called a forever loop. That means it won't ever stop. So I want you to try now. Change this program so that there's a pause occasionally so that our characters can get onto this Ferris wheel and go for a ride. This would be a great time to just pause this video and come up with your solution, and then you can push play when you're ready to see another solution and some more challenges. So, we're changing this program to make the Ferris wheel better. Now, an easy way to do this is we could add a pause or a wait block in here, and I think it'll take me about 4 seconds to put my characters onto the Ferris wheel. So let's try it. I'll push play, and it moves and it waits. Let's see if this is enough time for me to put my characters on the Ferris wheel. And then our last one. Excellent. But I feel like this Ferris wheel is missing something. It seems to me Like, this isn't going to be the most fun ride if it just stops after a quarter of a turn. What could we do to make this Ferris wheel better? How could we improve it? What I think we'll do is I think we will take away this forever loop, and it's going to have 4 seats on it, so I think we need to make this code right here turn a quarter of a turn and then wait 4 seconds. I think we should do that 4 times to make sure everybody loads up on the Ferris wheel. And a neat thing that you can do is if you click with 2 fingers or right click, you can duplicate a block. And so I'm going to duplicate these so that I have a turn and then a pause, a turn and then a pause, a turn and then a pause, a turn and then a pause. That gives me time to put 4 characters onto this Ferris wheel. And then once they're all loaded, I want my Ferris wheel to start moving. Let's make it go the opposite direction and keep moving forever. So let's push play and see if we're able to load up all of our characters on this Ferris wheel and then give them a nice fun ride. All right, I can put my first character on during that pause. My next character can hop on during this pause. I broke it. Finally, this character, and then during my 4th pause, I'm going to fix this. All right, everybody's on. My ride should start now. It's a pretty fast Ferris wheel. I see some of them are going upside down as they go. But we were able to load our characters on a Ferris wheel that was not stopping and then make it a more fun ride. I have a few challenges for you. Could you make it so that the light turns green when it's time to load the ride? And then could you make the light turn a fun color while the ride is actually moving? How would you do that? Remember our first section where it's turning a quarter of a turn and pausing 4 seconds, that's when we're loading. So I might tell my program to turn green right at the beginning. And I said green was when it's safe to load. And then I'm going to tell it to turn a fun color when the ride is really starting. So I really like blue, and I really like orange. And then let's do a little bit of pink in there as well. So let's test this out. Our Ferris wheel should move 4 times to give us a chance to load it. The light is green, meaning it's loading time. It's still loading because the light is green. And then whenever the ride actually starts, my light should turn a fun color. And that lets folks know the ride has begun. So I have a quick question for you, a quick check-in. How did we make the Ferris wheel stop after a quarter turn to make sure that our characters could get onto the ride? What block did we add to make sure that the Ferris wheel would stop, giving our characters time to get on and off? We use this hourglass block. It's called a wait block. And it's in seconds, and you can change that to any number you want. Let's see. I think we can make this Ferris wheel even better by adding some music that plays while the Ferris wheel turns. Now, I select a music block, and if I put the music block, I'll put it at the very beginning for the example, it's going to play all the music before it ever starts to turn the Ferris wheel. So I'm waiting for that song to finish. My light hasn't even turned on yet. I want to show you a way where we can get the music playing at the same time as our Ferris wheel. So in this step, we're going to give ourselves access to all of the code blocks for Spike Essential. So we'll go down here to these 3 dots, and we click there. And I have show blocks from Lesson, Spike Prime, which would be our middle school kit, Spike Essential, or all products. Since we only have the Spike Essential kit, I'm going to click on that. And now I have a lot more blocks down here at the bottom. And I want us to look at these message blocks. This is how you make multiple parts of the program run at the same time. So, when I push play, I'm setting my speed, I'm turning the lights on. I want there to be a song that plays while we load. So I'm going to put this blue message block right at the beginning. And what that means is when the code gets here, so set speed to high, play blue message block, and go on to green. This blue message block will play at the same time as the rest of my code. So now I can put our song here. And when I push play, my light turns green immediately, my Ferris wheel starts to turn, and my music is playing as well. And that's happening at the same time. So my music has ended now, but the ride hasn't quite started yet. And so here's what I'd like us to do, is could you add a different color message so that it'll play music while the Ferris wheel turns? A solution to this could be to put that blue message block right here, right before the Ferris wheel really starts to turn, change the color of it to, I don't know, purple, any color works, and then we'll add a start event, and we'll change this so it matches, and then I can add my music block to this as well. And I want a random song. I don't know what song's going to play, but I want it to change every time. So now my program will play one song while it's loading, and then it'll play a song whenever the Ferris wheel starts to turn. So we can push play. Our loading sequence begins with music. And you can do this on your own. I'm going to stop it so that you can test this out with your own build. My challenge for you now. Could you change this forever loop so that it only spins about 10 times and then gives the characters a chance to get off? You might want to use this repeat a certain number of times, maybe 4, maybe 10. How could you change this ride to be more fun? Could you change your light so that it turns green when it's time to load, a fun color during the ride, and then maybe it turns red when the ride's over? That might come after this repeated loop. Put that in there, switch these out. And a last thing, how could you upgrade this Ferris wheel? We've been doing some engineering challenges for the past couple of weeks where we've changed our ride to make it better. How could you change this ride? What would make it more fun to you? Could you put the seats side by side? You could flip this motor over and turn it into a giant swing. But I'd love to see what types of changes you make for this Ferris wheel. All right, today we solved a problem for our characters. Their Ferris wheel wouldn't stop moving. We built this Ferris wheel and coded it to move. We learned how to access all the Spike Essential icon blocks. We also learned how to make 2 sets of programs run at the same time by using the message blocks and changing the color to match up with which message we wanted to send. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see you next week whenever we start working on word block coding. So these have been icon blocks. Next week we'll start some word block coding. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.